My name is Lorraine, and I am a psychic and a spiritual medium. And as a spiritual teacher, I really enjoy being able to share with others what I have learned on my spiritual journey and my journey to be able to understand the power of my soul and my connection with spirit. And so this is what I offer to share with you, those that are on their spiritual journey, the ability to have a greater understanding of the power of your own soul and to have a greater connection with spirit. So this is what I call the solutions for our soul. So thank you very much for joining me today in this discussion. And we are going to be talking a little bit about dreams and doing dream work. Our dreams open up our states of consciousness to much deeper states of consciousness. And if you're like me, you've been very connected with dreams. As a young person, I had very vivid dreams, so much so that I really kind of enjoyed when I did go to sleep, because I would set intentions with some of my dreams, and I found it really fascinating that my dreams responded to my intentions. And so in my dreams, I would have these experiences of flying and of meeting up with other individuals, magical individuals that could fly also. And I really believed in these dreams. They were so vivid. And I used to think that that was very unique as a young person. But I've come to understand that dreams are a way that all of us are able to connect with deeper aspects of ourselves and connect with guidance from the spiritual realms through our dreams. So as a young person, I would dream of having supernatural, superhero powers. And although this seemed very fantastical, there was a part of me that understood that dreams acted as a type of portal to another world, a world that was beyond our physical realm, and a world that I felt that I was pretty magical in. And there was something about that I knew to be true, those magical feelings. So in my studies along my spiritual journey, I did a lot of studying with the mind and studying consciousness. And I learned that dreams do in fact open up our consciousness to deeper states of our mind that have access to deep stored information, that has access to the collective store of information that surrounds us all. And dreams allow us to be able to access other planes, other realms, other dimensions. And we can use our dream time to be able to access these different states. And I spent a great number of years working with lucid dreaming, which is really a very fascinating concept. And it is complex in itself also. So we're going to talk a little bit about a part of it today. And this is about learning how to be able to connect with our guides and our loved ones in the spirit world. So our dreams are not only a portal for us to be able to access different planes, but of course, through this portal, spirit is able to access our consciousness. And so dreams are a really easy way for spirit to be able to make contact with us. And the reason this is because while we're dreaming, our conscious mind, which acts as a filter from receiving the deeper part of ourself, the all-knowing part of ourself, the part that is always connected with spirit, that's filtered out greatly by our conscious mind. So when we are sleeping, that conscious mind, of course, is not engaged and not able to filter out things in quite the same way. And so this is why dreams are like a portal. And so if you've ever had a dream of someone that has passed away, you will find that there tends to be a lot of details, a lot of clarity with these dreams. They feel, there's very vivid coloring, very vivid feelings with it, and usually these dreams we're able to remember, and we'll remember them ongoing. We're able to recall them with a great deal of clarity. Usually dreams, a normal dream, that would fade away once we've woken up. But there are some dreams where we've had a spirit visitation, and these dreams tend to feel very, very vivid, very, very real. And when we wake up, there is often a feeling of sadness or sorrow because of no longer having that connection that was experienced in the dream. That there's tends to be a real emotional connection too, which whenever we have our emotions engaged in our dreams, then we're able to understand that there's an element of reality to that because we're experiencing it on an emotional level. So these dream visitations tend to feel very real. Many times there's a voice that is heard within the dream calling out your own name, and there's just a feeling to this dream, and it feels very vivid, very real. And so many people question themselves, was that just a dream? And the answer is no, it was a real experience. So what happens in the dream state is that the conscious mind has just, because it's no longer filtering, it allows the deeper aspects of our mind to open up, and we're actually accessing different planes. We're accessing spiritual planes. And so when we have a dream of a loved one, it's not actually a dream. It is, in fact, a spirit visitation. Just many people don't recognize it as a spirit visitation. So these spirit visitations are what is called after-death communications, or ADCs. And through my years of being a medium, I know that these experiences with the dream states are, in fact, actually quite common. It's just that people typically are not recognizing it as a visitation. So there's this element of doubt. Was that real or was it not? And these are after-death communications and having a spirit visitation. Now, although spirit visitations do happen to a lot of people, they don't happen very frequently, meaning someone may have a spirit visitation from the loved one once, and typically this is really sort of a short period of time after their passing. There may be this dream visitation, and usually this is sort of like a sign or a message that they have reached the other side safely and that they're okay. And there may not be a visitation again for a very long time. These visitations may occur around about the anniversary of the passing, or around birthdays that are significant. So either the birthday of the individual having a dream, or the birthday of the spirit communicator that's coming through. But they don't happen very often. And so someone may have a visitation and then wait very many years before another one occurs again. And this is all very normal. A dream visitation can help us to understand a little bit of what the spirit world may look or feel like. And it really gives us a bit of a glimpse as to what it is like in the other world. I myself refer to the other world oftentimes as Summerland because of the way that it appears to me in these dream states. It appears like a beautiful summer meadow. And there are really distinct feelings that come along with this. And so when we are able to recall what we're experiencing, we're actually getting a glimpse of what the other world is like, what that experience is like. So we're able to distinguish a spirit visitation in a dream from a regular dream by the bright colors that are experienced and by the feelings that are occurring. Now, not every dream may be pleasant, that may be true. Sometimes we may still get repressed feelings that are coming up with the dreams that may result in feelings of anxiety. I know that there's been some questions that I've had about these experiences in the past where they've had what felt like a spirit visitation, but then there was this sense of anxiety that came with it. And they were wondering, was everything okay with their loved one? And what this is that there's just some feelings of fear or repressed emotions that are really looking to be able to come to the surface during some of these experiences. And know that when your loved one is coming through in a dream, that they are okay, that they are at peace in the spirit world. So sometimes in these dreams, they may bring up feelings of remorse or anger, and this is why it may manifest in the dream as a feeling of anxiety. So just be aware of that if there's a feeling of anxiety in the dream, it's because there's still some feelings that are around the relationship. And this is all very natural. And it's when we are struggling to perhaps make amends with those that have passed, this is all part of the healing process. So really what those dreams are, if there's a feeling of anxiety around them, that is not a visitation. If you're dreaming about a loved one but you're having these feelings of anxiety or it's something that's scary, that's not a visitation. But really what it is that showing you some of these feelings and personal challenges that are still working to be resolved regarding that relationship. So we can ask our loved ones to visit us in Dreamtime. We can ask our guides to visit us. And just by programming ourselves before we go to sleep, we can actually set those intentions to be able to make a contact with our loved ones in spirit. So in addition to meeting loved ones in the spirit world, we're also able to learn in the spirit world. We're actually able to visit other planes and have access to different dimensions. So when we sleep, we're able to astral travel, and we're able to go to other planes and meet our guides and our spiritual teachers there and learn about these different planes or dimensions. And we're also able to get answers to questions that we have about our own lives and receive kind of like downloads of answers or information. So our consciousness is able to travel because we have that ability. Being spiritual beings, our consciousness is able to travel, but yet we're still able to remain connected to our physical body. It is said in metaphysical beliefs that there is a silver cord that is very, very fine, and it attaches our spiritual body to our physical body, much like the way an umbilical cord attaches to a baby and the mum. And so actually it's really kind of incredible when you think that our physical umbilical cord actually has an astral or metaphysical umbilical cord to it also, that allows our bodies to be able to astral travel. So I know that sometimes people worry about not being able to return to their physical body if they're astral projecting, but just know that you can't ever become lost in the astral planes. That doesn't happen. We're always able to get back to our physical body. And sometimes people will have the experience where they may actually be feeling lost, but all we have to do is to be able to, if you're having this sort of lucid feeling when you're astral projecting and there may be this fear of not being able to get back, usually that fear alone just sort of snaps us back into our physical body. And that is why a lot of times we have this experience of waking up very suddenly in the middle of the night with almost like a jolt. And it's because your astral body has returned back to your physical body. And maybe it was a little bit fast when it did that, and it created a little bit of a jar and has woken you up from that sleep state. So when we program our mind before sleep, it's really very simple. Always have a dream journal by your bedside when you're sleeping for the purpose of jotting down what you're receiving right away the moment that you wake up. Because if you don't do that, all of the impressions will slip away. You won't remember that. So set your journal at the bedside, and before you are getting ready to sleep, this is where we really work to set our intentions. And when we are setting intentions with all of our consciousness, with all of our intention, it is very powerful. So before you go to sleep, just simply lay down and bring yourself to a state of relaxation, just like as if you're going into meditation. And work to set these intentions, calling upon your spirit guides. It doesn't matter if you haven't met your spirit guides, but they're still there to be able to help you, help assist you, to help give you guidance. So even if you haven't met your guides, it's completely, they're still working with you. So going into this light meditative state and calling upon your guides, just quietly in your mind, and having a conversation with them. And ask your guides, instruct them that you want to be able to have a spirit visitation during your dream time, and to have a visitation from one of your loved ones. And choose which loved one it is that you want to be able to have that visit from. And just simply think of them in your mind, conjure up that image of them in your mind. And you can even say that name and just ask your guides. Use the power of your will, the power of your intention, to hold that firmly in your mind as you are communicating your wishes to your guide to assist you. And just, again, know that the power of your intentions are very, very strong. And then let that intention go, and just giving thanks for the experience. Because if you're holding on to that intention too tightly, then it's going to cause, it causes, like, it compresses the energy. It causes that when you hold on to something too much. So you set that intention very, very clearly, and then release it and give thanks. And then simply just allow yourself to go to sleep and know that you're going to be having the experience. And so, again, as I said, it's very important to be able to write down your experiences as soon as you wake up. And I want to just really impress upon you that, it may not happen on the very first night, but it will occur. And so you can keep being dedicated to that practice of setting those intentions before sleep, that you're going to have that visitation from your loved one in spirit. So it's important to just be patient with that. And it's said that it takes a lot of energy for a loved one in spirit to be able to come through in dreams. So be patient with that process too. And as I said, it's when we are trying really hard that it can create a resistance. So just setting that intention and trusting the process and being patient, you will have that experience. And again, you may not trust the experience fully, but be aware of what you're receiving. When you wake up, be aware of what you're able to recall in that dream state, and trust that because you've set those intentions, that your experience is real. And as I said before, when we sleep, we're able to meet our guides and we're able to travel to other dimensions. And so there's actually a lot of learning that we're able to receive when we're open to it. And so by setting these intentions and allowing our guides to be able to work with us and giving permission and just setting those intentions that you're able to access your guides and different planes easily and to receive whatever guidance or learning that is for your betterment in that moment. So some people actually in their dream time report going to a classroom or having an experience where they meet a master guide, but this could be a meeting in your sacred space. It's important to remember also that although we may not recall everything that happens in our dreams, that you may wake up and feel like you've had an answer to a question given. And so just be aware of any sort of intuitive feelings that you may have upon waking when you have set these intentions. So again, very important to keep a journal by your bedside. And if you are programming yourself to work in dream time, whenever you wake up, jot those impressions down before you've had a chance to start moving around. Again, this is where we get a lot of information and downloads using our claircognizance. And so if you have been asking your guides to help you with a particular situation or receiving guidance in your current situation, and just be aware of what intuitive feelings that you have when you initially wake up, because these are very, very key. So although you may not be able to recall specifics, you may feel like something has been answered, and just wait to allow for these answers to emerge from the subconscious to your conscious mind. And so you may start to get little snippets of insights throughout your waking day in response to these questions that you have posed prior to sleep. And so you may want to get in the habit also of carrying a little notebook around with you. I do this all the time. Carrying a little notebook around with you to jot down these intuitive impressions that come to the surface that you've received answers or downloads to during dream time. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. I hope that you've enjoyed this discussion on dreams and having visitations from loved ones and guides during our dream time. Please, if you're listening and you do have enjoyed this, please do hit the like button. And please also do subscribe to my channel so that you may be able to receive more guidance and meditation and readings from me, getting notifications as I go live and put up other content for you. I do thank you very much for listening, and I wish you all very many blessings, and may you walk with spirit. Once again, this is Lorraine. Bye for now.